Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and it's a kind of book club Monday. I've got a new name. So this one is by Jan Eaton, and it's called Ripple Stitch Patterns. 200 in fact, ripple stitch patterns. Exciting patterns to knit and crochet for Afghans, blankets and throws. So we got, is that knit and crochet? Let's get a look in then. They're just, I guess, ripple stitch patterns, and here we go. There's rather a lot of them. Okay, obviously these thumbnails are very small, but there are thumbnails for all of them, all the way up to number 200. So here we got projects, ripple patterns for cushion covers, scarves, wraps, babies and Afghans, knitting techniques, crochet techniques, yarn directory, index and credits. Okay, so it's the introduction, how to use this book. I don't know, I always thought you just turned the page and read it, but there you go. There must be techniques involved in using the book. Well, that's a bit too much to go into. So we've got all at the beginning of the book, how to convert from American terminology to English terminology. Shows you their understanding of symbols and difficulty gradings, yarn key and all that sort of thing. And then we've got a bit about colour, complementary colours, warm colours and texture. So there's all that business again at the beginning of books. Yarn weights it goes into. And then stitch collection. So that's cool. So we got Blue Lagoon. So I don't know. Oh, actually, that's Blue Lagoon. This one here. So that is worked in a selection of cool colours. Raised ridges. So obviously this one's a knitted one. I can tell by the terms. Okay. And then on number 2, it's called Surf. Let's knock out these ones for now. Surf is crocheted. Scottish mist, not Scotch mist, which that again is what is it? Crocheted. I wish they'd be in separate places. Oh look, there's a symbol. So that obviously this is shaded chevrons is knitted. Mohair chevrons. What's that? I don't know. It's a yarn symbol. So maybe it's we're still on knitted. I don't know. And we've got velvet chevrons, then soft waves, you can see those are crocheted, and monochrome, bit similar in a way. Another knitted one, we've got a symbol, it's called Fairground, it's very nice. This one's called Sahara. So it looks like we've got a knit, a crochet so far anyway, and we've got little hook or little needles to tell us where we are. Okay, get in there now. Knitted and crocheted, there we go. Neapolitan stripes, and then we've got pink ripple. So in a way they're complementary then, that's quite nice. Clove pinks, again you seem to have a couple on a page. Pink parfait on this side. Not quite sure how easy these all are. I've not made anything from it. This one is the knitted one, it's called Springtime, and we've got leafy panels. Then we've got granny lace over this side and greenwood. So I think it's kind of the same pattern, just showing you different colour techniques. Beaumont texture, this one. A bit hard to see with purple, don't you think? And then over here we've got Sea Spray, Arctic Waters, and then Windermere. So I think it is just showing you different things you can do just by switching the colours around, but the same pattern. Twisting Vines is this one, the knitted one. Memphis is the alternative colours. Golden Glow or Glitter Glam. Okay. So we're kind of getting there with this book, aren't we? Jolly Waves, there we go, the knitted one, and Beaumont Lace being the alternative. Smarty. Or, what's this one called? Morning Mist. I think that one's kind of just an ordinary chevron. Looks like it's working in singles, which is double crochet is in the UK. We've got a cushion cover. That one is ripple patterns for cushion, knitting or crochet, choosing the stitch pattern. So it's kind of basically just a bit of a lowdown. Then we've got a pattern, which is this one. Nice to have a pattern in there, I guess, so it's not just showing you how to make a blanket, if you like. This one's called Puff Lace. Alternative is called Coral Fancy. We've got Blossom and Speckled Coral. But that really does show the difference in how colours will transform that. It's quite often something looks really intricate when it's in certain colours. This one's called Switchback, the knitted one, or Grey Skies. We've got Granite City, Northern Nostalgia, Mini Chevron. So we've got 3 alternatives there. Baby Chevrons. Then a bit of a shaggy yarn. We've got Baby Blue, Grotto, and that's called Pink and White, but it looks like orange and yellow, doesn't it? Just saying, it doesn't look very pink or white, but that's Grotto. I quite like that one. It's a bit fanny. I mean, it's got fan stitches. I really will have to fanny. Sorry about that. Mandarin, the knitted one, or Marmalade. I don't know why that would be called Marmalade. Spanish Steps, or Alhambra. Doesn't look like Alhambra to me, but I love Alhambras. I have earrings that are Alhambra. I quite like it. Hydrangea, they call this one, or Raspberries and Cream for this one. Looks stripy to me. Narrow Lace. Now that does look nice in those colours, and in the pink. Still quite nice. It's still a bit of a granny type one. The soft chevrons, that's pretty. And if you look here, Imperial Blend shows you with different colours. Lavender Field and Special Yarn Key. So if you were a crocheter, then obviously you've got 100. You know what I mean? So if you were a knitter, you've got 100. But if you're a crocheter and a knitter, you have 200. This one's called All Sorts. And silver lace if you don't use the colours. Storm Clouds. And if you put a bit of fluff in it, Softly Grey. Sandstone. I would have called that golden somehow, something or other, but never mind. Festoons. Or Chocolate Delight. More like a mocha. We have Navajo and Subtle Ripples. Ripple patterns for scarves. So here we go. We're going to show you a few techniques and bits of advice, and then zigzag scarf. Hopefully the pattern is on. No, where is it then? Do we have it? Oh yeah, I guess so. It tells you there, and then it shows you the alternative ones you could use for it. This is called Lavender Lace. That's a nice one. That's a knitted one again, obviously. Scandinavian Stripes. I won't bother telling you the names of the alternative ones because they are the same, but just different colours. Autumn Chevrons. So if you put some kind of freaky sort of eyelash yarn in it. Autumn Hedgerows. Looks quite nice if you play with the colour. Crest of the Wave, this one. And then you can play with the striping. Ocean Spray. I do like the way they've done that, but then that is specifically the colour. But this does show the pattern more than the variegated. Oh, that's a nice one. Feather and Fan. Feather and Fan. I've got a feeling that somebody, one of our yarny peeps, did feathers and fans in a crochet. But I guess it's a technique anyway. Lacy Bands. That's quite nice. Granada. Unless you want to call it Grenada. And Terrazzo. This is what Terrazzo looks like. Alternative Rose with Fretwork. I like that one. The Crisp Zigzag. I like it quite close. And then we've got Regatta. Okay, so that's the kind of Mardi Gras is nice too. More of a wave, I'd say. Mardi Gras. Sunset Glow. They're all very similar, the crochet ones, have you noticed? Some are different, obviously. This one's called Fishtail. I quite like that. And this one's got some bobbles in it. Bobble zigzag. And ripple patterns for wraps. So we've got more of a soft, delicate, lacy one. It's mohair, that. I wouldn't be able to use it. But again, there's a pattern that you can adapt. Undulating stripes. Or the crochet one is called Ribby. Some of the names, honestly, they do need light work. Welting Fantastic. Doesn't really conjure up something fantastic, does it? Welting. Vivid chevrons we've got there. And if you play with the colour, it changes it completely. This is an unusual one called Truffle. And Fudge, if you play with the colour. Strata. That looks like an ordinary one to me. That looks very similar to just ripple stitch. Dimple Shale. Now I like that, and I like the colours that's been used. And if you put in like a fair isle between the two dark stripes, that would look really quite nice. That would look quite nice in a crocheted one as well, wouldn't it? That's a bit of inspiration. Oh no. One I can't pronounce. Crochet. Looks like the square stitch, doesn't it? Soft shells, but it does look like square stitch. Mango, this one. Oh, Warm Waves. Some of them are quite ordinary ones, aren't they? But there they've done it there. But I think that looks quite nice, just broken up like that with the dark either side. Something to think about, that one. Falling Leaves. I'm sure I've seen one called Falling Leaves 20 million times over. Sunlit Leaves. Water Beach. Again, if you separate the colours out. Uneven Chevrons. And Brighton Rock. They're kind of just very basic-y ones. Guppy Tails. They look like guppy tails to you? This one's called Bloomsbury. It's got a bit of holes. So tell me, what do you think of the book? Do you like the way it's set out? So this is Ripples for Babies, having a bit of a yawn there. Making a snuggle blanket. Do you like the way it's set out? Do you like the fact that it's both knitting and crochet? Coral lace. I guess if you don't one or the other, you might not. Shades of Coral. I quite like that one, although it is very ordinary and, you know, the sort of ripples we're used to seeing. Happy Holidays, that one's called, but that's just the colour. Or Santa Stripes, because it's a bit fluffy. Holiday Waves. It's just the colours that make it that way. Speedway is nice, but I'm sure it looks very similar to one that we see earlier. And Waterfall. Very nice colours, but Gentle Waves or Piazza. It's just working with colour, really, isn't it? That's producing all these, like, crazy patterns. But that one's more holy, I've noticed. A little bit more. Rainforest. Same one in a different colours, called Butterfly Wings. Cluster Ripple. That's what it kind of looks like. And this one, Souvenir. An anemone. Somebody asked me the other day if I can say anemone. I can't remember who it was. One of my subscribers said, can you say anemone? Or do I get it wrong, like another YouTuber who calls it an enemy? Like an enemy. But it's an anemone. Gary's Ripple. Well, there you go. Gary's got a ripple. Plain Jane. Pretty in pink. But Gary's got a ripple. How about that? Madeira Sunset. It's quite different. There it is in its kind of more visible form. That's the word I'm looking for. Bright Shells. Bright Ridges. And we've got the same sort of thing in crochet called Malibu. But it is just the colours that make it look like that, because that is... Some of these, do they seem similar to you? I guess they have to be, don't they, really, with the ripples? Ripple patterns for Afghans. And you can have a good look at that. Forest one. This is nice, forest ripples. But it's because of the fluffy yarn. Be a bit, maybe, you know, hairy up your nose and stuff, wouldn't it? Green Gables. Again, looks very similar to all the others. Celtic Waves or Distant Skies. Again, another one that's got these little holes. We're getting near the end. Old Shale. That doesn't sound very attractive, but it's quite a nice one. Tutti Frutti, I like that. Again, it's the colours that do it, isn't it? And Gypsy Rondo. Look at that one. It's very, very bold. Very bold indeed. So if you wonder why I keep doing this, I'm trying not to show you the patterns because it's a bit naughty, really. So this is Sweet Violets, Edwardian Waves, and Snuggle. Amethyst lace. I do like the colours on this one. Violet and pearl. So that's really what we're seeing up here. But if it was more plain and you could see. Forest fern and traveller. We've got granny chevrons. So it's a granny stitch one. At the end we've got frangipani. Well, I like a bit of frangipan. But, you know. Just saying. Hot Stripes is the same, but if you did it plainer. Party Time, and there's Pink Fizz, so that's the same. Can't really see too much of the pattern there. How they make that one. No, I don't know, it looks a bit V-stitchy, I'm not sure. Quite like that one, it's unusual. Horseshoe lace. Not much like a horseshoe, but... Blue Moon, if it's more plain. Provence. Sea and Sand and Aquarius. That's my birth sign, should I say. I am an Aquarius. So we've got the how to do bits now. Knitting techniques. Quite a lot. Crochet techniques. And it's getting a bit hard to open. And that's it. Yarn directory. Do you need a yarn directory? When you consider that companies discontinue yarns, I mean, I've noticed lately a few yarns that I really love and that people have been commenting as well, that why do they always discontinue the ones we love? So a yarn directory is not really that helpful because you just don't know if it's still current or not. Anyway, that's the book by Jan Eaton, I've just taken off my glasses, so everything's a blur. It was fine before I wore them. But what do you think? Now, this one cost $19.95 or £10.99. Now, I don't think that conversion is right anymore. But I don't know what it would set you back now. But it's by Search Press, and you can find it at searchpress.com. Incidentally, these books may find their way into my shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk, once I've reviewed them. So it's well worth having a look every now and then at the book section. So there's also a voucher code that's valid until December 2023, and that's in the description box along with a link to the shop. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about this book. Do you like a knitting and crochet book under the same cover? It's not a bad idea if you can knit and crochet. I quite like it, but you know, if I were just a knitter or just a crocheter, I might feel like half the book is wasted on me. Let me know what you liked and disliked, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.